got all these anti-gunners like to clown and make fun of and belittle the idea that the only person that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Yet we keep getting all of these stories about good guys with guns stopping bad guys with guns.
Turning now to an attempted carjacking that rattled nerves at a crowded shopping center right at the edge of the Park Cities. Take a look at the map here. The crowd right near the Dallas North Tollway and Lover's Lane ran for cover when the bandits fired several shots.
As police continue to comb for bullets and any other kind of evidence after a shootout took place right in the middle of the dinner rush on a busy Friday night.
The first thing that I heard was gunshots. And you could hear it was from the front door. From our vantage point at the bar, we were kind of looking at the front door. And so immediately everyone just started to kind of scatter like they would in a gunshot situation.
Dallas police say 3 suspects attempted to carjack someone who witnesses say was leaving the restaurant. That's when gunshots rang out.
6, 8, maybe 10. I mean, it was not 1 or 2. It was a number of them.
Gleason, who has a permit to carry, says he pulled his weapon as others fled towards the kitchen or dove under tables.
Everybody, I said, get behind me, get behind me, get behind me, get behind me.
Though he never had to fire, police say outside somebody else hit one suspect who was later transported to a local hospital. The other 2 fled.
I think the most disingenuous, dishonest, intellectually immoral argument against the idea of people carrying firearms for protection is the idea, or to belittle the idea that somebody who is a law-abiding citizen can't somehow use their firearm to stop criminals. And if you ask me, the only reason somebody would make that argument is because they want you to depend on something that you can't depend on, which is police officers. And then look at the situation here. You have an individual who had nothing to do with the carjacking, used his legal firearm to stop 3 bad guys from attacking someone else. And not only that, look at that, what that tells you. Let it be told, a lot of these anti-gunners and people who have a problem with law-abiding citizens carrying firearms, they have a problem with it, and they say things like, oh, law-abiding citizens can't carry firearms because they'll just do bad things with them and it'll be a wild, wild west and do all this stuff like that. Not only is that not the case, you have legal armed citizens defending other people with their firearm. That's what we're not talking about here. They're using their personal firearms not just to protect themselves, but other people who choose not to have a firearm or can't have a firearm. We should be literally trying our best. Our goal should be to create a society where the good people are just as capable and powerful at stopping bad people as bad people are powerful and capable to attack good people. At bare minimum, at best, the law-abiding citizens should have things better than the criminals. That would be an ideal world, a realistically ideal world, not this like made-up fantasy world where everything is perfect. But in a world where we know criminals exist, we should be able to say, hey, the good people also have guns and they can fight back against the criminals when the police aren't available. Not to mention the other guy here is also a hero. He didn't know these people in the store from Sunday or Adam or Jack or Jill. But yet he put himself between the danger. He didn't know if it was a carjacking or a mass shooting. All he knew is he heard gunshots. He knew there were innocent people in this store. He had a firearm. And so what did he do? What did he do? He used his firearm to protect those people who didn't have firearms. That should tell you everything you need to know about how important it is for people having the ability to own and carry firearms on a day-to-day basis. But what do we get instead? We get these cities like New York and New Jersey who are actually fighting against people's ability to carry a firearm in self-defense. They want their citizenship to be weak and incapable of protecting themselves. They want them to be victims. That's all they are. But yet, when you look at places like Texas, where you're allowed to carry a firearm, what do you get? You get criminals that have to deal with citizens who fight back with the same type of firearms that they're trying to use to victimize the people. That changes things considerably. And as far as I know I want to live in a place where I can fight back and defend myself. I don't want to live in a place where I have to depend on somebody else to bring their gun to protect me when I can simply have a gun to protect myself. Stop letting the media fool you into thinking the vast majority of people that carry firearms are evil degenerates looking to kill people randomly. He didn't have to do any of that. He could have simply been like, man, I got my gun, I'm out of here. But what did he do? He stood in the pathway of danger because there was no one else to do it. The only person there to do it was him. He was the good guy with the gun, ready to defend people who didn't have guns against possible criminals that did have guns. We understand that there are people who want to do bad things to innocent people in this world. So what we want are the people who are innocent to be able to defend against those other people and make the idea of them being able to take advantage of people who are seemingly so more weaker, make that a proposition that they don't want to undertake because they understand, nah, these people over here, they're armed. They take care of them, not only themselves, but everybody else in the group. You don't want to deal with that. Three guys with guns can't stand up to a group of people ready to defend everybody else in a place with firearms too. And that is the visual of firearm ownership that we should be aspiring to in this country. That's why we have the Second Amendment, is so that we can empower the people that we want to protect and the people that deserve protection. That's what this is about. That is the importance. That is the idea. That is the concept of the militia. That's what they were talking about in the Second Amendment when they said the militia. It was the people. The Founding Fathers didn't like standing armies. They didn't like the idea of the central government having absolute power over the people. They didn't like that concept. They just fought a war against a government trying to do that. So what you ended up with is those Founding Fathers saying, you know what? Yeah, there may be some need or necessity for a standing army to some degree, but who's going to check them? And the people need to be able to check those people because the people, this country is for the people. Not for anyone else, it's for the people. It's not for the elite. It's not for the people in politics. It's for the people. And if the people don't have the ability to check the people that they put into power, yes, the people put these people into power to represent their best interests, they need to have the means and the ability to fight back if the people who were put into power start becoming tyrannical and try to tyrannize the people that they consider to be below them. That's how it works. And not only that, it doesn't matter where the tyranny comes from, whether it comes from our government, comes from an exterior government that's not part of this country, or whether it's just a regular criminal trying to cause terror amongst the innocent people. That is what the Second Amendment is about. It's about the ability to fight back against tyranny, regardless of where it comes from. You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for or hopefully even avoid a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more. You know, we talk a lot about empowerment in this country, except for when it comes to the Second Amendment. However, I can't think of anything more empowering than having the most effective tool to protect you and your family. So help me spread this message by liking and sharing this video with everyone you know. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, because the Second Amendment, when it said militia, it wasn't talking about the government. It was talking about you. Also, if you want to know where to find the I'm the Militia shirt and merchandise, click the I'm the Militia link in the description section of this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.